We only see in a fragmented way, and therefore we only pay attention to what our mind is conditioned to believe about what we're seeing. Whereas when we begin to see the whole picture, we can never judge. You see? Because we begin to see more and more and more, almost unending to that point. So that's clear seeing. Now we go back to the will. So, and you said whatever is happening, that was beautiful. Whatever is happening is really the will of God. Even if we think it's quote, it's bad, whatever is happening, because it has to be. Whatever is, has to be. But ultimately, the will, what we call the will of God, is unconditional love. Because everything works towards that love. And as we learn to accept and move and forgive, and move with that energy to whatever is as it is, because it is, whatever is, that very acceptance brings us automatically to love, or every time. See, this is the will. But you might say, what about our will? What about our will? Your will and God's will are one and the same thing. Exactly the same, because all you ever want is to be loved and to feel that love and to feel that fulfillment. But here comes the interesting part. You see? We have something called ego. Ego is that illusion that makes you think you are an individual separated from the rest. There is the belief that somehow you are you're not a presence. You just are your past, in other words. Now, and this is mind-boggling, because the moment you begin to understand this, the will of the ego, and the ego has a will, and you know what it is? Believe it or not, it is fear, self-sabotage. It always creates the law of reversed effort. Now, what we call ego is that part of us that believes it is separate. Excuse me. Because it believes it is separate, and believes that is, you know, we're all unique expressions of the totality. But the moment you begin to believe you are separate, immediately you create a personality, the ego personality, which starts you thinking, there is something wrong with me, I am not good enough, I don't deserve the highest love, how can I reach unconditional love? I don't think I deserve it, I don't think I'm good enough. This is the thinking of the ego. Whether you say it or not as a material, these are the thoughts that are in the ego sense, you see? And this type of thinking, based of course on your past, how you were brought up and how much love you felt as a child, whatever, creates a pain body. You've heard of the pain body? Mm-hmm. The ego, to some extent, carries a pain body. Now, what does a pain body do? Whenever you get too happy, whenever you feel too loved, there's no such thing, because the sincere, beautiful love is love. Somehow you pull back and you resist. You sabotage the very thing that you want most. Isn't that kick in the pants, eh? You see? This sabotage is the ego's way to maintain its pain, and begins to believe that actually what is suffering is real. And so if it becomes too happy, oh, this is too good to be true. And it creates some pain in order for it to feed its hunger. You see? Now, until we begin to see this very, very clearly, now you might say, but why is this allowed if unconditional love is the very nature of being? Nothing is allowed or not allowed. You see? You have the choice to see or not to see. But you see, the moment you begin to see that this very pain is created because you want love so desperate, and here's where the understanding has to come in, the psychology of it. You want love so desperately, and that's why you sabotage it. Because anything that you want, more than anything, there's always a feeling that somehow you're not good enough to have it. And you sabotage it. This is what the pain body is. And when a person with a strong pain body goes, let's say, for a week without everything going smoothly and everything is going fine and being happy, then they'll create something to sabotage that good feeling, so that they can feel again the pain that they're so familiar with, the rejection, the fear of love, the fear of happiness, the fear of inner fulfillment. See? Yeah.
But as you were saying, the will of God is whatever's happening, basically. So even though the pain body is active in anyone who still has ego operating there, so that too, you could say, is part of the one will.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah.
that's just the call, right?
Right. So the one will is truly, ultimately, it is self-fulfillment. It is self-recognition. It is unconditional love. And it's going to pull you into it no matter what. If, however, you don't have the understanding yet of unconditional love because you really believe you are conditioned, then I'm going to make your conditioning so horrendous that you're bound to say, I can't take this anymore, there's got to be some other way.
But isn't that a judgment too? I mean, it could...
No, because this is...
say that that's a quote-unquote bad way, or that's her way.
It isn't, we're not saying bad.
Yeah.
We're not saying anything is bad. What we're saying is unconditional love is the only sole reality.
But it's all...
And it's all unconditional love. So it's going to pull you into it no matter how you act. And sometimes maybe suffering is needed at that point. Yeah. Until you begin to see that this is self-inflicted through your own limited seeing.